So in Jay's little bag of tricks, AKA the ultimate stretching series, well, the next one we're gonna have is gonna focus, not that they all have been focusing on the hip, but a lot of the stretches we've been focusing on so far have been the front of the hip, particularly. This one's gonna be more the back of the hip and the glutes, where, you know, sitting down on your butt all day in a chair, your glutes will get weakened, but they also still get tight and very immobile. And sometimes your ass just gets tight and you need to loosen it up, right? Now, an elevated pigeon stretch is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's a pigeon stretch, for those of you guys who know what it is. If not, just watch for a couple seconds, you'll see it. But more elevated off the ground versus laying on the floor, which we like for a couple different reasons. One of the main ones being you get better control of how you drop your body weight under the exercise, targeting the muscle better. But then also you're able to take advantage of the rotational aspects of the ball and socket joint of the hip, which is really the way your body's meant to move. And by stretching in alignment with the way that joint is meant to move, you get such a better stretch from so many of the muscles also, because everything kind of connects down into these points right here, because this is the base of all movement for your body, right? Anyway, so we are gonna use the most ghetto version possible, because we were gonna do this upstairs, but somebody's doing a training session, which is always a good thing. So we're gonna do something elevated right now. We got a bench, we got a couple of our foam boxes. You might use a plyo box, you might use a sturdy table. Keyword is sturdy, whatever you have, right? And the different heights you go at is up to you. But all I'm gonna do is, starting sideways, right, next to the box, I'm gonna put my leg up. This is the most confusing part for people. Don't fall, right? My foot's in front. Then from there, I'm gonna take this back foot, I'm gonna spiral it out, right? To where now I'm rotating from both of my hips, right? And I'm gonna drop my body weight towards chest of the knee. I'm slowly gonna get into this one. And as I go down, the progression for the stretch is down and twist. And all I'm gonna do is hold this for like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Right there, good. So I'm into the stretch, I'm holding it tight. Now, typically what I'll do is, like we usually say, you wanna hold stretches for like for like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds as you go. So you give your body a chance to break up all that scar tissue and just the tension in the fascia that's there, which is really where we're trying to get that permanent stretch from. I don't care about stretching at the muscle. The muscle's gonna stretch, it's gonna go back. You get a little bit of relief, but for that more permanent relief, you wanna hold them for a longer period of time, as long as it's not super painful for yourself. And what'll happen is your body will release a little more, you can get deeper into it. Now, we use more advanced methods where I like to pulse for a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna use the wall because it's here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pulse into a spiral fashion. So I take all the stretch. You're gonna feel this right here, right around where the TFL is and where the glute connects. And all I'm gonna do little pulses for a set of 20, right? Now this is a very advanced technique. This is ballistic stretching. If you're brand new, just getting back into it, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're a little more seasoned and you're an athlete and you do a lot of mobility, this is a great way to force a little bit of extra flexibility that you wouldn't get. Then I go down into a little more, and I'm typically able to get deeper than what I would normally get. I come out of it nice and slow, right? I would do the same thing on the other side. Now, like I said, you can play with different heights and different angles. So let's say, for instructional purposes only, right? Let's make some room for myself. I want to go a little lower, play with a different angle. I'm just bring my little pads out, right? Because I don't want to with my precious little legs, right? I'm just gonna come down lower now. I'll get into it, I'm gonna drop down, and now I'm able to get a different angle than what I was getting before, right? I feel a little more in this hip now, in addition to my right glute. And then from there, I'm just sitting there holding the stretch, twisting and spiraling. Look, I'm not using the wall, right? This is my better hip, by the way. I can really get down to some of these deep angles, open up my leg, and same thing, I'm gonna hold it for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, longer, right? I try to keep my back straight when I do it too. I let my back bend. I'm trying to move around and get the most amount of angles possible so I stay mobile and loose. Then I come out of it nice and slow, and what you notice afterwards, your hips are nice and loose. They're typically a little more balanced, especially if you're hip hiked. And it's a great way to really stretch out the glutes and just some of that connective tissue on the side of the leg right here that when it gets tight, it pulls right in alignment and you get a lot of the back pain that you think is coming from your back, but really it's not, right? So that is an elevated pigeon stretch. Some people would call it an elevated glute stretch. Some people would call it an elevated figure four stretch. They all work. The difference is we're using an elevated position. in a cross-legged fashion to open up the back of the hip to break up scar tissue, and we're holding it for extended periods of time. The key part is adding the rotation in there, because your hip is meant to go through rotating patterns, and if you stretch the way it's meant to move, you'll typically get a better stretch, all right? Guys, hope that helped that one out. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section below so somebody from the team can get back to hold you and help maybe give you a little guidance on it. If it helped you out and you love it, do me a favor, leave that in the comment section also, because it really helps us out with the algorithm. But like I said, if you think these exercises are helping you out, hit the save button so you can always refer back to them later on. Maybe share them with a friend that you think could benefit from these. And hopefully next week you come back, we have some more stuff for you, we're able to keep helping you out. All right? Thanks for stopping by today. See you in the next one.